telling us, you know, all about why we're here, what's wrong with mankind, where we're going, and how everything can be made right. And yet we resist it. You know, we just want to do our own thing. We don't want anybody to tell us what to do. You know, we've talked about before, and probably talk about it again with this film. This is an incredible film. It covers a lot of different areas. But, you know, the strong nuclear force and the weak nuclear force, and all of our atoms in each of our cells is held together by these nuclear forces, and no one can understand why they're there. And God says He's the one He's keeping us all together. All of us would just fall apart. Atom by atom would just fall apart. And we don't care. We just want to do our own thing. We don't want to be thankful to the Creator and give Him what is due Him. You know, I was thinking of a father or parents and a kid. You know, all of us would say that a child should listen to his parents. You know, the parents are there to protect them and do that. And we don't want to listen to our Heavenly Father. We just, you know, we're just like spoiled, rebellious kids. Jay, any thoughts that you want to add to that?
Well, you know, last couple of weeks, Mike, we've been talking about information and where it comes from. And I think of the caterpillar carrying the information for the end result of that butterfly, but going from a solid to a liquid, and then back to a solid, morphing into that butterfly, with that all that information for that butterfly to have the perfect wings, the perfect color on the mirrored painting that it has on its wings, the four legs, you know, everything, all the information that went from liquid to, or solid to liquid to solid. It's just, it really does boggle the mind. And talk about a wonderful animal to confound the evolution theory. And on top of it, the beauty of it. It's just, really, it is mind-boggling, Mike, and I'd love Richard Dawkins himself to explain to me that process right there. Yeah. And, you know, a couple of years ago, Mike, you remember when we did the monarch butterfly? The heart in the chrysalis stays intact. Do you remember that?
No, I don't remember.
Yeah, the monarch butterfly is the only butterfly that goes from the caterpillar to the chrysalis with the heart. The heart never changes, and it stays beating in that chrysalis.
All the other butterflies, it dissolves?
Yes.
Huh.
It's just, and again, the power of God. Where did this information come from?
Maybe Dylan knows. Good evening, Dylan.
Yes, hello.
Hello?
Hello.
Hi, Dylan.
We're not getting him.
I'm getting you, Dylan.
Well, I'm not.
Go ahead, Dylan.
Hello?
Yeah, now
yeah, I hear you.
Okay. I have a question. See, I'm not for evolution or for Christianity either. But I have a question for you. Was Noah an entomologist? Because I don't understand how he was able to get every 4,000 plus species of butterfly on the ark, or all the other types of ants, etc. Also, do you guys believe that evolution says how life started or how life came to be? Because, to me, from what I've read, evolution does not say how life started.
No, evolution doesn't say how life started, but for evolution to take place, if you don't have a designer, it has to evolve from somewhere. They like to skip that part, the evolution. It's because they really have no answer. It really does go into the mystical. The other part, I couldn't hear him too well. Did you hear that the other part about? Did you say, was Darwin an insect specialist, an entomologist? Is that who are you speaking about?
Noah. Was Noah an entomologist?
Noah? Did you say Noah?
Yeah, he said Noah.
I haven't talked to Noah. Why do you ask?
Well, because I don't know. Just the ark does not make sense at all. I mean,
the ark.
The ark.
Okay. Why?
How does it make sense? A boat full of every species of animal, insect, fucking bird, whatever the hell. It doesn't make any sense. Sorry for my language.
Let me throw this out to you. A lot of creatures can live underwater. You know, out in Africa, you watch those great films out in the desert in Africa, and, well, you know, they've got the rainy season, and then it all dries up, and then everything is just kind of like desert. And there are things that are inert, you know, that are in these little shells or eggs in the ground. Fish of course, everything in the sea would not have to be in the boat. And we're going to show some film in the future. A number of different scientists have figured that, you know, God made different creatures by kinds: dog kind, elephant kind, lion kind, cat kind, basically big cats, little cats. And we can show that they'll easily fit, and there are different ways to take care of the animals by allowing drop floors and, you know, refuse to go down into the ocean. It's not as complex as it seems, but makes sense. You know, Dylan, does the idea of God, being a God, make sense? Someone who's created the entire universe and created that butterfly, does that make sense to you, that it could have happened that way?
I personally don't believe in a humanoid God, if it makes sense, like the Christian God, where God directly influences human beings. I kind of refuse that. I mean, not to sound like a jerk, but I don't see how that could ever happen. I personally am more of a pantheist, which is also another view that some Christians like share, which is pretty much that God is everything, which is why I disagree with the whole thing about how we are not part of God, how we are still children of God, but we aren't. I don't know.
As a pantheist, would you then think that everything evolved?
No, but I do accept it as a theory. I don't accept Christianity the way things came to be, because, honestly, I don't care at all how we came here. All I know is that I'm here. It doesn't freaking matter. And I'm going to live my life the way I want. And if some made-up guy in a book tells me that I'm wrong, then fuck him. Honestly.
Yeah, he hung up with that. I thought, you know, people get upset over the concept of it all, and I don't know why. I guess it's because of the concept of hell. They don't like the idea of there being a separate place, that God is not only love, but He's also justice. And none of us, we're going to get to you, Tom, in a second. Nobody, if you really think about a universe without justice, a God who's just love and no justice, if you think about it deeply, I think you come up with the feeling that you wouldn't like an unjust universe with little Hitler souls and Mao Zedong souls and Stalin souls, and worse than that, souls running around being free to do whatever they want. There's got to be justice in the universe too.
Yeah, and you know, Mike, again, we've mentioned over and over throughout our over 5 years doing this, you have to seek one or the other. Really, it comes down to, who are you, where did you come from, why are you here, and where are you going? Now, if you evolved and believe in that evolution, then at least seek it out and find some evidence to back that up.
Yeah, but we pointed out it's usually a heart thing. Most people don't want to be accountable to a creator for various reasons. But let's talk to Tom first, and we can get back to that. Tom, how you doing?
Tom's gone? Yeah, we lost Tom.
We lost Tom. Okay, well, we can
and then again, the other view, the creation view, you know, if you really want truth, seek it out. And we're showing scientific evidence that is overwhelming to me, inferring to it has to be creation, Mike.
A designer.
A designer.
Sure.
I can't see it any other way.
Yeah, you know, the butterfly wing, the fact that there is no color in the wing, there are these, it's this complex, I didn't know about, yeah, that only reflect, and look at the design that it reflects, and so many of them are such gorgeous creatures. You know, why would they evolve in so many different patterns of beauty when, if natural selection is just going to select for the most functionally correct thing, you think, well, everything would gravitate to one type, which would be the best. But no, you've got all this different beauty, and you've got these different photons that are reflecting a specific band of light to give you the colors you see in those wings that are gorgeous designs. And the whole thing makes no sense. The chrysalis makes no sense at all from a natural selection standpoint. It destroys the concept of evolution as taught in the school systems, where you need natural selection to work on mutations. Neither of them work. Of course, most mutations are neutral. They're not going to help one way or the other. And then the vast majority of the others are bad, are deleterious, and will generally lead to death of the organism.